So I have an object lesson, and this is going to be one that we're going to do in our minds, all right? Let's say that right now, it's kind of close to lunchtime, right? Okay, let's pretend that we are home, okay? And one of your favorite sandwiches to make, I know, is when we take peanut butter and Nutella. You love Nutella, right? So we put peanut butter and Nutella on the bread, and I try not to put a lot of Nutella, but you put on extra. And we eat a peanut butter and Nutella sandwich, okay? Right? So it'd be cool if we went home and made one, right? So let's say I'm getting out all the food, and I grab a slice of bread and give it to you, and you put on the Nutella, and I get the peanut butter, you put on the peanut butter, right? And then I grab the next piece of bread and give it to you. And on the corner, you see a little piece of black mold, because you know that bread had been sitting there for a while and we didn't realize it. So I give you the bread, and you see it. What would you say?
I would say, hey Mom, the bread is mold, we can't eat it.
And what if I said to you, oh shoot, well it's the last piece of bread in there. Wait a minute, let me see. Ah, James, it's just a little teeny tiny spot. Stop complaining, you'll be fine.
No, it's not. It could make your stomach feel bad and you could get
But
sick.
James, it's just a little speck. Why are you being so crazy? Just eat it, stop complaining.
It's still bad for you.
You don't want to eat mold?
No one would.
Right, so if we stuck that bread on there with the mold on it, now we would have to throw the whole sandwich away, wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have just a little tiny piece of mold, because that little tiny piece of mold is going to ruin the entire sandwich, right?
Yeah.
It's going to make you sick, right? That's what you think, it's going to make you sick?
Yeah.
That's kind of how sin is. God does not like sin. And so you might be thinking like, oh, but Adam and Eve only sinned one time. It was just one sin. I mean, couldn't God have forgiven them? Couldn't he have just said, "Oh, I know you're feeling remorseful, and I forgive you. Stay in the garden. It's okay." Why do you think God didn't do that? Well, it's just like the sandwich. God does not want sin in our life. He created a perfect garden with rules with one rule that would protect them and keep them safe. Once they didn't follow the rules, we found out that following the rules, not following them, is what?
Sin.
Sin. So they invited sin into the garden. And just like that sandwich, even though the piece of mold was one little speck, the whole sandwich was ruined, right? It's not like we're going to say, oh, it's only a small thing. We'll eat it and it will be fine because most of it is good, right? No. You think that it's going to do what if you eat it?
It's gonna make you sick.
It's going to make you sick. It's destroyed now. We can't have that bread with mold on it. And it's the same way. Once they invited that sin in, it was destroyed. It was destroyed. There was no longer perfection in the garden. Everything was messed up. So the consequences, like God said, was they had to leave the garden, and they didn't get to live forever. Eventually they were going to die, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to remember that in the Garden of Eden, God really loved them, and he placed the rule to protect them, right? And so we want to remember that all the rules in the Bible that are in there are to protect us and to keep us safe and to give us good things like this. They could have had this forever. So we want to remember that we will get good things if we obey God.